Hello, hello, brothers and sisters. It's a new week. We are very, very happy to introduce you to our show titled Speak of Africa. What was the week like in Africa? As usual, we try to bring the week in a geopolitical context. This week was the meeting of the G7 in Hiroshima. Of course, you guys know what Hiroshima represents in history. During the Second World War, the bomb that was thrown on Hiroshima, then next another bomb was thrown on Nagasaki, ended the Second World War. The bombs were thrown by the United States. Today, the United States is a very good ally of Japan. So the meeting of G7 was taking place in Japan, in Hiroshima. Why was the meeting taking place? Of course, this time the G7 meeting was taking place because of threats that the big powers are dealing with. One of the major threats is China. China has been rising. China has been stealing technology from the West. And there's also the menace of Russia with the invasion of Ukraine. Volodymyr Zelensky was also at this meeting. He was there to make a case for his country. So those are the main topics of the meeting. Within this backdrop, there's also the scramble for African resources. Africa was invited to this meeting. But most of these rich countries still see Africa as a source of raw materials. They perceive Africa to be a place where they can loot and take raw materials, natural resources, for pennies on the dollar. So it's time now for Africans to understand that they don't have to give their raw materials away for nothing. If the leaders are stupid, if the coconut leaders are giving away our stuff for nothing, then we need to have people who can stand up and say, no, enough is enough. History should not be repeating itself. For the first time, we need to be getting paid for our raw materials. We need to get what is due us. We don't have to give them for nothing. So that's a message we think Africans have to learn. But before we start looking at the key elements of our show, we also want to thank those who are promoting us, the businesses that are advertising on our show. And of course, we are also starting a new clinic, an urgent care, Lucille Urgent Care in Towson, Maryland. We've been talking about it. Things are now ready to roll. We are hiring people now to work in this clinic. We've been running ads on Indeed and ZipRecruiter, and we're getting a lot of people who want to work for us. So if you're an African and you really need a good job in the healthcare sector, we're encouraging you to apply for the jobs we're offering because we really want to help our own people. Okay? For those who are subscribing to this show, we say thank you very much. This week, you've sent us so many videos, and we're going to share these videos with other viewers. If this is the first time you are watching Speak of Africa, we say thank you for coming to our family. We encourage you to subscribe to the video. Click on the button to subscribe. We don't want you to miss any of our shows. So with the show of today, we take you straight to Ambazonia. You see me dressed in red. It's a bloody week in Ambazonia. Bloody, bloody, bloody. In fact, for censorship, we don't even want to show you a whole lot of blood, but a lot of blood has been taking place in Ambazonia, especially this week. This week represents 20th May, which is a day of national unity in La République du Cameroon. But the people of Ambazonia are protesting against the government of Paul Biya in La République du Cameroon. They feel this date is fake. Okay? It's a fake date because it was forced upon them. They don't really see anything unity about this date because there's no unity. The people of Ambazonia were forced into a marriage and they want to get out of this marriage, but La République du Cameroon has been killing them because they want to leave the marriage. In fact, this week we want to bring your attention to the plight of refugees. A lot of the refugees are in Nigeria. They fled from Ambazonia and settled in Nigeria. Already, since 2017, it looks like their stay in Nigeria is becoming permanent. Initially, they thought they would stay in Nigeria just for a short while, but now they are staying there longer. And you can see some of them trying to farm in Nigeria to make ends meet. Take a look at the first video of refugees.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, you can see you are busy doing something here. What is happening here?
As usual, we are here with our farm project, and I want to present Mr. Fabian Lawong again to man, because I had earlier done a video over 2 months ago presenting their situation. So since I could not continue keeping him in my house, I negotiated with the chief of Bakoko, who gave him a room there, and now he occupies himself in the farm, and it is even thanks to this farm that he is able to be preparing his food here. So he hasn't got anything in the house. So, Mr. Fabian, can you present your problem to our people in the diaspora?
Yes.
Yeah, the only people who can help you.
Yeah, my problem is the problem of this farm. I came to Calabar here. I had a program with St. Patrick, which they were to sponsor me in agricultural activities. As I reached, the administration changed over and they sent the headquarters to Nairobi. And then the program could no more stand. Going back to Taraba, I could not go back to Taraba again. So I decided that since I have made a mind to make an agricultural program here, that will not only benefit me, that will also enlighten other refugees to see what they can do, which is sustainable. I decided to start this project. And now the problem of this project now, have a project of planting 5,000 peppers and tomatoes. What we have planted here now, we have a lot of challenges now, as per now, on fertilizer, pesticide and fungicide, because the insects are already spoiling all the projects. So I'm here with Mr. Mba, the chairman. I'm managing with him. And if we don't have this product to treat these plants, they are going. We have already planted more than 2,000, and it's demanding this fertilizer, this fungicide, and this pesticide for us to see how we can go ahead and succeed with this program.
So in monetary value, how much do you think you need as support?
If we can have 2 bags of urea, urea is now 17,000 a bag, and then NPK is 36,000. We will have
in short, how much in
naira
value?
That is the nearest 236,000 naira. Could have all this fungicide, this pesticide, and this fertilizer.
And then what about the accommodation problem?
The accommodation program is terrible. At this age, I'm lying on the floor now for more than 1 month, on the bare floor, and nothing.
Thank you for watching the first video of refugees. There's another video of refugees in the Agbokim German waterfalls. Take a look at it too. You can see the way the people are crossing the water into Nigeria, trying to make ends meet. Take a look at the plight of refugees.
This is the Agbokim River, which separates Nigeria from Cameroon. Over the last year, thousands of people fleeing the violence in Cameroon have crossed over from the far side to take up places in refugee camps here in Nigeria. The Agbokim waterfall, it's normally a beauty spot, but for the past year it's been a place where thousands of Cameroonian refugees have crossed over in search of safety. This is a stretch of the Trans-African Highway running through the forests of southeast Nigeria. On one side is Cameroon's English-speaking minority, who've long complained of being treated as second-class citizens. On the other side is Cameroon's Francophone government, who've sent in troops to quell the English speakers' campaign for independence.
I left Cameroon because of the crisis there. The soldiers came to my village and they shot 4 of my friends, and we ran to the forest, and when we came back to look for food after 1 week or so, 2 girls were being shot by the Cameroon soldiers.
This is the Ogoja refugee camp in Nigeria, which is currently home to about 3,000 Cameroonian refugees. This is one separatist fighter who is now in Nigeria, who agreed to talk on condition that his identity be kept secret.
The first battle I went into was very, very horrible. because most of the guns were homemade guns and they used superior weapons to fight us, so we were really killed. So we used those guns to defend our families and loved ones.
What is the aim of the fighters now for the future?
We just need separation. We want to be separated from the French. They are really treating us bad.
Many of the refugees in the camp are now building temporary homes for themselves. If the war in Cameroon carries on much longer, some of these homes may become permanent.
So we're drawing attention to the plight of these refugees. Most of them don't want to speak on public television because they are afraid of reprisals from La République du Cameroon. Okay? But we've been able to talk to a lot of them and they are not really happy with their plight. So we say, if you have a way to help these refugees, do so. Then things have been hard in Ambazonia this week because of 20th May. We feel they don't have enough power to fight Biya's big army. So what they have been doing, the Ambazonian Restoration Forces, they have been launching attacks and they have been staging ambushes. In fact, this week, the Ambazonian Restoration fighters staged the most audacious and fantastic ambushes against the forces of Mr. Paul Biya. The images are everywhere on social media. Some of you send us so many videos and pictures showing casualties from B and other elements. These guys take bribes. You can see a picture of gendarmes taking bribes in Ambazonia. Our people are tired of these people, these colonial forces, these criminals. They want them to leave their territory. And you can see what is happening on lockdown. Because of 20th May, the Ambazonian Restoration Fighters have declared a lockdown and ghost town in their environment. Some people may make fun of them, but the truth about it is the guys are achieving a lot of effects. They may not occupy territories, but they are making their presence felt.
So, Ekele be the fear ghost town. With a mob where they can't knock off a junction here. See they hear any gun how in there for here. They will burn all sight. They don't see a day for ghost town when only them go the junction. They run, no man no pass. So have a junction clear, no man. For Friday morning. Where they want be every day. They don't can hide from Chobo Junction. They work a beg to put and 6 money for them, make noise say they hear gun from Chobo, they could burn all sight. But now this so junction is shine, no Ekele man, nothing. Oh, let me say other mob they make and so they fear them too. All these small players they start with it every day. Today Friday, they don't say run. But the mob they knock and say then get power. Say on Chobo Junction. No Ekele man. Oh God. People they suffer.
Let's go stand for combat today not die. Chobo Junction. See sound for. Sound for stop all Chinese no man. Since we go stand start I never ever see the kind one. Hospital. Oh, mamma mia. Oh wow. Even a fly no there outside. See road. Joy. Jesus. Man in indoors. Yes. What happened? They say Kumbane the respect goes down. Long for today while. You know me, I work as far as time heart. I listen, I hungry doing my go find something I chop man, no die inside house.
This week, they bloodied a lot of the forces from La République du Cameroon. And you can see the images everywhere. Some of the IEDs were used to break down the forces of La République. Even the vehicles that were brought to attack our people were scattered into pieces. And you can see proof. We have a lot of images we can share with you. Then, of course, you can also see the spoils of war. The restoration forces were able to take the fight to the enemy They staged this clever ambush, which from Tombel, Kupe Manenguba, Mbonge, Kumba, Boya, Bongo Square, the guys are striking everywhere. It's just like Enter the Dragon. So the guys are very powerful. People might tell you, oh no, they are weak. Tough generals are surrendering. Well, the truth is, look at the images that we're sharing with you. If the guys are surrendering, a lot of the other guys are not surrendering. The fight goes on. So that's the message we want you to take to the international community. More and more people are dying. So don't say it is a mob operation. They have vanquished the Ambazonian Restoration Forces. Or the Ambazonian Revolution is on its last leg. It is not on its last leg. The revolution goes on. There's infighting among the leaders in Ambazonia, but there is now concerted effort to speak with one voice and do damage. Mark Barretta also has a video where he was talking, and you can see what he's trying to do. So things are happening on the ground, and we cannot tell you. Look at a picture of the harvest of weapons. Take a look. Watch the video.
The ribbons. No retreat.
No surrender.
For whatever. Okay, today na 16 May. Fi Masha Ekpeteshi, the living ghost of ribbons. They go fight today. Nothing then do it. They can take 2 gun proof. Although one of the person they delay for come. 2 helmet. Na berita pom then that one at ever.
Thank you for watching the video of Ambazonia with the guys harvesting a lot of weapons. We take you now to La République where they are celebrating the National Unity Holiday. The unity is really a farce. You can even see, even starting with Amado Aidjo. You guys send us a lot of pictures and videos of Amado Aidjo. He made a lot of speeches where he shows that he's an orator. But how did he end? Look at the speeches. We can even let you listen to some Aidjo's speeches.
Naissance de la République fédérale. Message à la nation le 30 septembre 1961.
Après plus de 40 années de séparation, nous reformons aujourd'hui une même famille, une même nation, un même État. Que ce jour heureux soit un jour d'allégresse pour tous les Camerounais qui croient en leur pays, qui aiment leur patrie. En moins de 2 ans, ils auront atteint les 2 objectifs essentiels qu'ils s'étaient fixés: l'indépendance et la réunification. Que cette réunification du territoire national soit le gage et le symbole de l'unité des esprits et des cœurs, tel est le vœu que je forme aujourd'hui devant tous les Camerounais. Cette unité qui désormais ne dépend plus de forces étrangères, il nous appartient de la forger nous-mêmes dans un même élan patriotique. Il ne s'agit plus là d'une rubrique inscrite dans un programme de parti, mais d'une volonté profonde qui doit rester sans cesse présente dans les cœurs de chacun des hommes de notre pays, quelle que soit leur idéologie, leur religion ou leur groupe ethnique. Réunissant aujourd'hui les populations d'expression française et d'expression anglaise, le Cameroun sera le véritable laboratoire d'une union africaine qui doit rassembler des États parlants ces 2 langues. Il formera un pont entre les 2 Afriques et son rôle ne peut être qu'accru dans les prochaines assemblées africaines. Cette particularité nouvelle dans le monde d'aujourd'hui lui permettra d'élargir sa vision des choses internationales et de mener une politique de coopération avec toutes les nations qui accepteront son amitié et respecteront son indépendance et son idéologie. Ainsi, forts de nos 2 communautés, nous pourrons poursuivre au profit du Cameroun, mais aussi au profit de toute l'Afrique et du monde, le renforcement d'un État que nous voudrons accueillant à tous, qu'ils soient d'ici ou d'ailleurs, d'Afrique ou d'au-delà des mers.
Annonce du référendum sur l'institution d'un État unitaire. Message à l'Assemblée nationale fédérale le 6 mai 1972.
Au cours des 10 années écoulées, nous avons constamment privilégié ce qui nous unit. C'est ainsi que tout ce qui pouvait être fait l'a été pour consolider toujours davantage l'intégration économique et sociale de la nation et harmoniser les conditions de vie et les chances de développement sur les deux rives du Mungo. C'est également ainsi que nous avons ensemble, dans la conscience aiguë de l'intérêt supérieur de la patrie camerounaise, créé l'Union nationale camerounaise pour manifester de façon vivante l'unité de la nation et servir, appuyer sur ces organismes annexes que vient de renforcer l'UNTC, d'instruments de son destin. Dans ces conditions, où les structures fédérales apparaissent comme un handicap au développement rapide du pays, où en revanche, le peuple camerounais a déjà consacré dans les faits sa profonde unité, ma conviction, mesdames et messieurs les députés, ma profonde conviction est que le moment est venu de dépasser l'organisation fédérale de l'État. J'ai, en conséquence, conscient de mes responsabilités à l'égard de la nation et devant l'histoire, décidé de consulter par voie de référendum le peuple camerounais, souverain et maître de son destin, sur l'institution immédiate d'un État unitaire.
This guy is a liar, is a murderer, is a tyrant. How did he end? Terribly. He could not even get honorable burial in La République du Cameroon, the country he claimed he owned. Now he is left abandoned in Senegal in a cemetery called Diouf. Repatriate his body for befitting burial. So that's what we say karma, karmic justice. This guy was a bad guy, and history has paid him in his own coin. Then you have Paul Biya today, who is celebrating May 20th. How do the people feel? It is lackluster. You can even see him, he's kind of senile. His wife is trying to help him stay a little bit composed. But the guy has lost his mind. The guy has lost his mind. Biya ne tient plus. Il a perdu la tête. Il ne raisonne plus. So Biya has lost it. Okay? He has lost it. The wife is struggling to help him. Anytime you see him in public, the people are even making fun of Paul Biya because he cannot even sit up properly. The wife has to prop him up. He cannot sit up for 5 minutes. So that's what happens to our dictators. They don't know when it's time to go. They've overstayed their welcome. And that's the plight of Paul Biya. He has overstayed his welcome. And look at what karma does. God has punished him. His kids cannot do well. His kids are useless. So that's the price he pays for messing up the lives of people, for being a murderer.
Do you need tax preparation services? We can help. Contact PJ Tax Service, America's only full-time income tax preparers. Like the good old doctor, we do not close our doors after April 15th. In fact, we stay open all year round in order to serve you. We are located at 11207A, Lockwood Drive, Silver Spring, Maryland, 20901. Make an appointment today with Prince Ojong, your tax expert. Call 240-350-1131 or visit us on the web at www.pjtaxservice.com.
Next, we take you to Burkina Faso. Burkina Faso is rife with a lot of jihadist activities. Ibrahim Traoré has been trying to get help from Russia, but the help is not enough. The jihadists are still striking. We've been saying on this show many times that militarization cannot succeed. If you want to stem the tide of jihadist activity, you need to sit down with your brothers and sisters and negotiate. The politics of exclusion will not work. Why do you keep dreaming that you use military power to succeed? That's the erroneous thinking of a lot of guys who take power in Africa. They think they can use weapons to beat their opponents and rule with impunity. People are challenging this viewpoint. They are fighting back. And that's why we have a lot of conflict today in much of Africa. Next, we take you to Congo DRC. Kenya is trying, they've just named a general just to help shore up a peace effort to pacify the eastern part of Congo DRC. And that's working now. But there's been a lot of protests because in less than a year, elections will be taking place in Congo DRC. Felix Tshisekedi knows that last time he did not win the election, so this time he wants to present a form of legitimacy by saying he won the election. But Martin Fayulu, the real winner of the last presidential election, is already on the ground fighting. Even when you saw people protesting, we saw Martin Fayulu in the crowd. He was in the crowd. He was not alone. Even Moise Katumbi was also in the crowd. We have images of Moise Katumbi, who is also contesting the next election. So things are really hard. Congo DRC has a lot of raw materials, even cobalt, a tool that is used in most of the new cell phones and even chargers for electric cars, is from Congo DRC. Yet the average Congolese still lives in abject poverty. That's the tragedy of wealth in Congo DRC. There's no middle class. You have the rich and the poor. The rich steal all the money, the poor live in squalor. So long as that remains the story of Congo DRC, there is bound to be conflict. And we take you now to Nigeria. Nigeria now is saying goodbye to the final days of the Buhari regime. The people are very, very angry because every day, since Buhari became president, almost 70,000 people have lost their lives due to insecurity. This week, a convoy of the US was also attacked in the southeast, I think in around Anambra state. So these activities like kidnappers, bandits are happening every day. Where is security? Mr. Buhari promised that as a general, he's smart enough, he will know what to do to secure Nigeria. But he has failed. It's abject failure, a chain of failures. And you can see this. Now, Bola Tinubu is coming in as president. The people are at least, even though they don't really have a love affair with Bola Tinubu, but they feel at least Bola Tinubu will do something to secure the country. Mr. Buhari has been a disgrace. He doesn't know what to do. He's a dull person. He doesn't know anything. We are very, very sorry. He doesn't even know how to handle a simple problem. Project management, 101. This guy does not even know it. Why can he not even bring people? Nigeria has a lot of talent. Why can he not bring the talented Nigerians to help him deal with the problem of insecurity? Now we're counting the last days of the Buhari regime. And the people have had it up to here. They are just waiting for this guy to leave, to go to Dara, his hometown, or whether he wants to go to Niger Republic or wherever. Let him go. Go, Buhari. They are tired of you. You've been a disgrace. Okay? Next, we take you to Rwanda. Rwanda is a country we've always praised. We've said Paul Kagame has done a good job rebuilding the country after the genocide. But the story we're telling you today has to do with migrants and boat people. The people who run away from other countries in Africa, they want to get to Europe because Europe has messed up a lot of economics in Africa. So most Africans now look at Europe as a green pasture. Yet the Europeans do not want African migrants to come to their country. And Britain is a prime example. It's like in the old days, Britain used to send the deplorables to Australia. Today, Britain has found a new Australia. Britain has bribed Paul Kagame so that when they arrest people who are trying to get into Britain, they should send them to Rwanda. Then from there, the people can decide to either return to their country or somewhere else. They should not come back to Britain. Why would an African government accept nonsense like this? It's because our leaders are hungry for money. They don't care about their national interests. They worry about their pockets, their stomachs. You would think that Paul Kagame is a smart leader. Why would he sign a stupid deal like this with Britain? You ask yourself. It's because of money. They gave him money, so he's willing to take the money and open his country to ridicule. A lot of people today are looking at Paul Kagame like, what's wrong with this guy? Why is he taking money and selling his country? Britain will never accept a deal like that. There's no European country that will accept for you to use their territory in that manner. Why is Rwanda doing this? It's because your average African is dumb. Next, we take you to Senegal.
Have you heard the latest healthcare news? There's been a medical programming breakthrough. Let's go to Ali and Ron for more.
Thanks, Seb. A Good Samaritan is offering Alexia HTC, a new EMR EHR to doctors for free. Certainly, this free offer will shake things up in the medical software industry. Alexia HTC is a David pitting itself against the Goliaths, Epic, Cerner, and Meditech, which are old and cost too much money. What happens if you figure out how to build a new EMR EHR on the web for pennies on the dollar? You give it away to the suffering physicians for free.
Want to learn more about how these two powerhouse solutions will help you win more business? Schedule a demo below. In just minutes, Alexia HTC can help you access a patient record, enter an order, write a note, prescribe a medication, generate a charge, and create a super bill. Plus, Alexia Care Corporation, the vendor of the new web application, offers full customer service and training support free of charge. Who can beat that?
Macky Sall is running for a third term, but there's a lot of challenges. The opposition, a lot of the youth are against him. There's a lot of youth unemployment. Their only hope is a hero like Ousmane Sonko. And you have the youth clamoring for Ousmane Sonko because they are tired of Macky Sall. There's unemployment, they cannot feed themselves, and they need a better life. They need change. And that's the story in Senegal. Next, we move to Sudan. We've been covering Sudan a lot on this show. We've been letting you know that there's a conflict in Sudan, there's a war going on. You have two generals who are fighting for power. The general of the army, General Al-Burhan, and the RSF leader, Rapid Support Force, Dagbo. The two are really fighting for power. There is talk of a ceasefire, but it looks like the ceasefire is not holding. Is it going to hold this time? Well, the United States and the Arab League have been trying, but they have not been able to get the two parties to stop fighting. The two generals hate themselves so much, and these are the people who have created misery for the people. Al-Burhan comes from the Khartoum area, then Dagbo comes from the Darfur area. He's a very rich guy. He has used his contacts to make a whole lot of money in that part of the world, and now he's fighting for power with Al-Burhan. So how is this going to play out? Well, let's see if the ceasefire would hold. If the ceasefire doesn't hold, then it means more and more people will continue fighting. Then we are worried that areas like Sudan, South Sudan, Chad, a lot of refugees will be flocking those areas, and there will be a lot of instability in the region. That's the fear. And we hope they can put a lot of pressure on these two generals. Politics of exclusion. Sudan should have been allowed to go through their monopolizing power. Now they are fighting among themselves. That's the story of Sudan. Finally, we take you to Zimbabwe. We read a story that Zimbabwe is a country where Robert Mugabe used to be president. Ernest Mnangagwa now is the president of Zimbabwe. We hear a lot of prisoners are being released. That's good news. But what else don't we like about the country? There's a whole lot of pressure. The economy is not really doing well, and Russia is encroaching in this country, introducing transactional relationships where you do this for me, I do that for you. So Russia is helping Zimbabwe now. What kind of help can Russia give to Zimbabwe? Not a whole lot. Russia is a weak regional superpower, but they are using their historical past to cling on to riches from Africa. They are stealing from Africa, and that's the story of Russia. We want Russia to leave Africa because they are stealing from Africa. Okay? You complain about China, but Russia is there. Russia only brings arms. Russia is not doing anything positive to help Africans, except sell arms to the guys who are ruling most of those African countries. So Russia is just a mercenary. They are just there to get what they can get, and this is sad. We've come to the end of our show, but we're telling you to believe in Africa. We want things to change so that it can be a better Africa. So give us ideas. What should be done to solve most of the problems that were presented? We don't have a solution by ourselves. That's why we're engaging you so that you can come and debate. Give us ideas so we can share them with the audience. Thank you very much. May God bless you.
Medical practice software is too old. Indeed, all the programs are built on MUMPS, technology of the 1950s, and the programs cost too much money. Epic and Cerner cost billions of dollars. Meditech costs thousands of dollars too. In fact, that's why we created AlexiaHTC.com, a new and free EMR/EHR for doctors. AlexiaHTC.com is built for HIPAA. Yes, magical one-screen technology, ease of use, quick charting, amazing e-prescribing, tight labs integration, multi-office difference, because we believe doctors and patients need a break today. Be the first to test drive AlexiaHTC.com. You have nothing to lose, you have everything to gain. Act now. Call 240-350-1131. Alexia Care Corporation at AlexiaHTC.com.
Selling a service or a product? Need buyers? Use the African Nation TV as a channel to reach many viewers. Act now and call Prince Ojong at 240-350-1131. That's 240-350-1131. Act today.